You. What's going on, everyone? What's happening? Welcome on in. What's going on, everyone? How are we today on this, what's today? Tuesday? Tuesday morning here. We had some action last night. Normally I say we have a lot of action last night, but during this week, we're basically not going to. The home run derby, though. The home run derby was amazing. It was super fun. I had a blast watching it. It kept me entertained all night long. Um, Yeah. Sorry, I had an email that is important, but I will wait till after. What's going on, everyone? Before we get going into the home run derby and everything else that happened last night, Team USA basketball lost again to Australia. Not to Australia again, but just lost again, this time to Australia. Matisse Thybulle was absolutely ridiculous, and he made some really nice plays out there. I'm not really that passionate about the Team USA basketball team, whether that's a violation or not. I'm not. It's not something that really I don't know. I mean, look, they're exhibition games right now. So when the actual Olympics begin, I'll probably feel differently about things. But it was on TV, and with the sports night being what it was last night, it's something to watch. But yeah, I was all in on the MLB home run derby. I mean, I watched every single pitch, every pitch. Now, before we get going here, I'm going iced coffee again. I'm in this little iced coffee spurt in my life, so just don't judge. We're rocking. We're going iced coffee, and we're enjoying this bad boy. All right, let's kick this off. Nolan says Pete Alonso put on an amazing show. Yeah, he did. I mean, it was to the point where he was so locked in, and he was so dialed in, and he was so ridiculously focused that I was admiring how much he wanted to crucify every single pitch. Every single pitch. I mean, he was so ready to go. No one was on his level of determination last night. Not a damn soul. You could see it in his eyes. His eyes just screamed, I'm going to win that fucking trophy. Really. And then, I mean, he had all the great pitches right over the middle of the plate, pulling every pitch, homer after homer after homer, to start everything off with 35 homers. That was just ridiculous. That was just ridiculous. Now, what are we talking about here, Kevin? Would you trade Bryce Harper for Pete Alonso? It's a home run derby and batting practice. All right? I like Pete Alonso. He's a fine dude, and he is what he is. But, like, what are we talking about here? You're talking about a batting practice now turning into superstardom? Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves here. Let's see where Pete Alonso is statistically this season. He's hitting .250. He's got 17 home runs, 49 RBI. That's where he's at. Let's not blow this out of proportion here, shall we? Take away Bryce's name. How good is he? He's a nice player. I mean, what? We knew what Pete Alonso was before last night. Last night's a batting practice that's fun and entertaining. I don't know how you apply what you saw last night and think any differently of the player that we knew he was before that happened. He's a home run hitter. He kind of reminds me sometimes of like Rhys Hoskins. You know? Yeah, Salvador Perez got a little bit boned because of having to go up against Pete Alonso in the beginning rounds, which is just, unfortunate. But I don't have a problem with the way it was laid out at all. Wade comes in with $3 donation here. You're wrong about Raptors fans, third in the NBA. I'm not wrong about them. It does not compare to what you have here on the East Coast. They're a nice fan base. I'm not saying they're a bad fan base. They're a nice fan base. They don't compare to Sixers fans. They don't compare to Celtics fans. They don't compare to New York markets when the New York markets isn't going through what the New York Knicks went through over the last handful of years, more than a handful of years, for the last decade, it seems. But it just doesn't compare to those type of teams. And that's okay to admit. You have nice fans. Fran says, I'll still take Bryce over Alonso in a derby. Dude, Alonso was so dialed in. I mean, that might have been like the perfect performance. Now, Granted, the second round, he only needed about 16 home runs. And after that, he needed, 24 or 22 or whatever. So it wasn't like he needed a billion after the first round. But still, I mean, Pete Alonso was just clocked into a different level. That was just absolutely absurd. Whoa, we got 1,000 yen from Moet petition for Alvarado. Can we do the math? What is that? Is that $100? Is that what that is? August in Kansas City. It's hotter than two fucking rats in the wool sack. Ichiro's favorite English saying. YouTube it. Doesn't disappoint 99.99 of foreign players in Japan use a translator for Japanese. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Mullet petition for Alvarado. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, the whole Stephen A thing, I mean, it is what it is. It's out of character, or, it's out of line. He went too far with it, and that's really my only thoughts on that. I don't really think much has to be said about the statements that he made, you know? He made a mistake, and I'm sure he'll talk about it later today. And I know he put out a statement, and I really don't have much to say on it other than that. Stephen A. Smith is going to talk about it the way he needs to talk about it moving forward, and that's that. Now, I don't know how much I think we did this before, because the 500 yen I thought was $500. I was like, here we go. In the first time, it was $5. I just didn't know the currency. By the way, I'm like getting pissed off, and like I'm curling my toes because I'm fucking pissed. It says my connection is awful on this stream right now, and I don't know why. I do the same damn thing every day, and I never have this problem. Literally never have this problem. Wade says, you should hear the Siakam and Bain slander here. It's the same as Simmons. I do listen. It's not the same as Simmons. I listen to Overdrive all the time. I listen to Noodles. I listen to O-Dog. I listen to Brian Hayes. They don't talk anything but the Toronto Maple Leafs. They throw it in there once in a while. But during this season, I listened to TSN so damn much, I didn't hear a damn thing even close to Ben Simmons. Here in Philadelphia, that's what we're still talking about. The conversation has not changed. What is being discussed on the radio every day on both stations is just about Ben Simmons. It's slowly starting to move in the direction of the Phillies because of the run they went on. But yeah, after that, if you take 2 zeros off, it's pretty much the value. Gotcha. Oh, yeah. That's right. I did this. I probably should have just done the math. If 500 is $5, then 1,000 would be $10. Thank you so much, Mullet petition. Thank you. Thank you. I hate currency change, right? What are we doing here? Thank you so much for the donation, man. I really do appreciate it. Probably should just, I don't know, do simple math. The truth. 3-way trade for Portland. All right, Portland gets D'Lo. What? Oh, okay. FRP, first round pick. Okay, Portland gets D'Lo and 3 first round picks from Philly, from Minnesota. This is. I need a little bit cleaned up version of this, and maybe second round pick. And Philly gets Damian Lillard and Malik Beasley. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that that's in play. What is Minnesota getting? Oh, getting Ben. And Portland gets no players? That's never going to happen. Why would they do that? They get no players. And they just get picks from a team that's going to be making a deep run, which is Philadelphia. And Minnesota, okay, yeah, maybe there's some higher picks that might be in play. That's atrocious. Portland would never do that. Anaheim would be proud. You shut your mouth. You shut your mouth. Yeah, I need an assistant in life. Big time. Not just here in the chat room where I can't really comprehend much, obviously. I mean, that's pretty damn clear right now, but oh, Portland gets D'Lo. That's right. I don't know. That's way too much for me. It's not properly structured for me to analyze, so it's just throwing me in for a loop, and I just can't process it when it's written out that way, unfortunately. Thank you so much for the donation, though. I would do something with Kyle Lowry, though, with the sign and trade. I'm not rolling that out of the equation at all. If you can see, that's the thing with something, and I don't know if the money works out, so I'd have to look at this financially and really figure out the details. But if there's a way to trade Ben Simmons for Malcolm Brogdon and get that first round pick from the Indiana Pacers as well, but then Daryl Morey makes a move for a Kyle Lowry, so you have Lowry, Brogdon, Seth Curry, Tobias, and Joel Embiid. If it's something like that, I'm all in, right? Like that's what I'm kind of all in about. That's what would get me going. That would be something that I would trade Ben Simmons for. That would be a pretty interesting squad. Couple Milk says, I wish the Phillies had a must-watch baseball player like Tatis or Ohtani. I mean, Bryce Harper is must-watch. Don't get me wrong. I know it's dipped off a little bit because of the state of the baseball team when the baseball team was 4 or 5 games under 500, and it just wasn't the product that we needed it to be. I wouldn't say that Bryce Harper is no longer a player that is so incredibly fun and so incredibly beautiful to watch with the game of baseball. So it's still there. I think it'll come back as the team does better. You start winning more baseball games, as you see with this couple 3 series before the All-Star break. You naturally get more juiced up and enjoy watching more of his at-bats. When the team stink, you don't feel the need to watch his at-bats. And you would feel the same way if the Padres did not have 50-plus wins and they had 38 wins. You would not feel the same way about Tatis Jr., even though he would be the same exact player. Same thing with any of these guys. Mike Trout, all throughout his career, was on a horrendous team. You don't have that pop with Mike Trout. Now, Ohtani's a little different because he's more of a national superstar to it, and he does both sides of the baseball, which is just something that is not seen. I mean, you pitch and you hit like this. I mean, you just don't see this. So it's another level of superstar that gets thrown into that also. But the Phillies do have that. They do. Charity auction winners get to shave my head. I don't know about shaving my head. I do need to get a little trim though, because I'm in a wedding this weekend. So being in the wedding, it's time to kind of maybe go for a little trim. You know what I'm saying? The Angels are only 45 and 44 though, to be honest with you. So it's not like they're just blowing it out of the water here with their fantastic play. But like I said, Shohei does it on both sides. Does it on both sides. Nick Pavetta's in here saying Ben Simmons is the GOAT. Well, that's horrendous. Alex, Wheeler got replaced by a guy who got lit up for a grand slam to a pitcher. Yeah, I need to look up Max Scherzer's actual individual statistics this season. You could have made the argument for both guys. I'm not anti any of these guys. It is what it is. He has a 2.66 ERA with a 7.4 record, while Zach Wheeler has a 2.26 with a 6.5 record. And if you look at innings pitched, Wheeler by far at 119 and Max Scherzer only with 98. So, yeah, I mean, I guess it is a little strange, maybe more based off of reputation than maybe they're trying to get a name to pop more. Like, obviously, if you know baseball, you know Zach Wheeler and how fantastic he is. But if you're just talking about initially looking at who's starting on both sides and you say Max Scherzer and you say Zach Wheeler, you get 2 totally different reactions. Maybe right or wrong. I'm not saying that's fair or not. I'm just saying that might be what it is. I don't know. Garrett Cole, what the fuck happened? I mean, he just had a 9 inning performance the other day where he was screaming at Boone to keep him on the mound. So, he did have a nice out. I'll tell you what happened. The sticky stuff impacted a lot of pitchers. The sticky stack impacted a lot of pitchers. Would you trade for Damian Lillard? Absolutely. Absolutely. Ben Simmons, first-round picks, Matisse Thybulle, Tyrese Maxey, you name it, we're making the trade. It's a no-brainer. Who do I want at the deadline? See, now I have to start diving a bit deeper because originally I thought, you're selling. This team sucks. You're selling. But now it's pretty damn obvious. They're doing nothing but buying. Buying is what they're going to do. So I need to look up exactly what type of targets they have available for them. So it was just my mindset forever was they are not buying. 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 So I wasn't even giving it a time of day. I wasn't wasting my time because there was no reason for them to ever buy an individual. Now I need to dive in a little bit deeper into some names that they can attack. They need a right-handed bench piece. They need some bullpen help. That's the way I'm targeting this. You need some bullpen help, and you need a right-handed bat off the bench. Jose says, while watching the MLB draft, to really see why you're so down on the Phillies system. They're ranked 24th. Oh, yeah, and look, I mean, at some point, they took and I don't know how, he's 17. I don't know how he's going to be by the end of this thing. Apparently, he's got a tall body frame and whatnot. Who they took in the third round was not ranked on anybody's top 250 board, while everybody else is getting these picks that are ranked on everyone's board. The Phillies take a dude that nobody even has in their mind at that time. And it's like you could have got that guy later on and picked a better player who has a better, conversation surrounding his name, better value. But they didn't do that. So it is what it is. I'm not going to tell you that means he's going to suck or that means he's going to be good. I have no idea. The kid's 17 years old. Maybe we'll find out, though, by 2038, Yeah, Matisse Thybulle was looking good last night. Here's what I'm not going to do, though. I find this hilarious. Wow, his offense has already come around. Look at this jump shot. Look at him pull off the dribble. It's been like 2 weeks. What are we talking about here? Matisse Thybulle transformed his game in a week and a half. Like the season just ended. Matisse Thybulle is the same player now as he was when the Sixers season ended. Maybe you can say Doc Rivers and the Philadelphia 76ers told him to just worry about defense and don't worry about offense. I don't know. But I'll tell you what, he is not significantly improved to this massive point in his career here because of a 2-week layoff after losing in the NBA second round. He's still the same player. There hasn't been enough time for you to really become a totally different player. There hasn't been enough time to put the work in to explode in another direction. He just made some really nice plays in an exhibition game against Team USA in the Olympics. That's what happened. Yeah, I know Kimbrel's been a name. I even heard Chris Bryant's name. Would you trade for Chris Bryant for half a year? I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to do that. Billy says, Brodes, MLB teams have a limited amount of money they can legally spend on draft picks, so they were probably saving money. Do they have the audacity to think that they can maneuver around this? And come on. I mean, really, they're not smart enough to do that. We're in the position of where we are because they're not smart enough to actually do this. So that's irrelevant to me. They're not smart enough to start maneuvering around these pieces because I got to go spend this and that. They stick at this. They are horrendous at this. That's the reality of the situation. They fail at this over and over and over again. Matt thinks that Matisse's issue in Philly is confidence at so being one of the studs on Australia. I don't know about that. I don't think he has a confidence issue with the Sixers, but not a confidence issue in the Olympics playing on a team. I mean, I don't think that's it at all. I think it was just like a good basketball game where he made a couple shots. He makes shots with the Sixers. People just don't talk about it the same way. You can make a shot for a Team Australia, make the same exact shot for the Sixers, and nobody talks about it the same way. Now, the difference is you did see some different sets that were being played out. He set a screen and dipped towards the basket, and he slipped, and they caught him with a nice pass, and he was wide open underneath the basket. You don't see that as much with play design for the Sixers. He's normally just running and gunning and camping out by the three-point line. He does a good job slashing, I would say, and he does cut to the basket off the ball once in a while for the Sixers off the ball. But I just think, once again, it's getting extreme. It's like the Mikal Bridges thing after game 2, where he had 27, 28 points. It was nice. It was solid. The next game, he has 4 points. The same people saying that the Sixers passed up on Kevin Durant and LeBron James don't have a fucking damn thing to say after the following game where he has 4 points. It's just the going overboard with one game. That's all. I think everybody's going to say no to this. Bring Stott up for September. For September. I thought I just said bring Stott up in general. But if they're in a race, yeah, I mean, the answer is going to be no. The answer is going to be no. If they're in a race, no, you're probably not calling up Bryson Stott. Depends on how late in September you're talking about. If you're talking late, fine. I read that wrong. I'm sorry. In the beginning, I thought you were just saying bring up Stott in general, who says no. But that's not true. Yes, we did see Matisse Thybulle chatting up Damian Lillard. Everyone's making the funny caption like, hey, we need to do this. Hey, let's do this. Now, I'm still just fucking pissed off that my quality of this stream just says 0 quality. So I got to pull it up on my other monitor to see how bad it really is. Because if this is bad, I'm just going to throw up in my mouth and be even more pissed off than I already am. Oh, okay. Looks great. Whew. Close call. Whew. Real close call. If you could trade Ben Simmons for 4 first-round picks and Karl Anthony Towns, would I do that? No. What would Karl Anthony Towns do for this basketball team? What could you possibly do with Karl Anthony Towns and Joel Embiid? No, I would not do that at all. Yeah, see, the problem is Mick Abel, Andrew Painter. I don't know. The track record of this franchise would tell me these kids are probably not going to be as good as they sell us. So I can't put a lot of stock into it. I see what they do. I see their numbers. I see the velocity. I see their repertoire. I see their off-speed pitches. I see Mick Abel's statistics. I see it all. I keep my eyes on these motherfuckers, even though Painter hasn't played yet. I looked up and I read about what he's supposed to be and what he can grow into and his comps and things like that. I see it all. I don't know. Nobody knows. The track record of this organization stinks. They actually suck when it comes to anything regarding prospects other than one time of their life through that 08 team. So I don't know what to tell you. I don't know about these guys, man. I hope that they're going to be good. I hope that they're going to be successful. I hope that this huge body frame of Painter is going to be magnificent and he's going to be a flat-out stud. I just don't know. Nothing they do ever says yes. Nothing this franchise does ever says yes. Yes, they will be fantastic. So I don't know. Mike says, I'm a Packers fan, but I think your Eagles will be a surprise team this year. I got a hair stuck on my nose. You know when you can feel it? I got it. It was tickling my nose. I don't know about how much of a surprise team you're talking about. I mean, there's some that think they're going to win 2 or 3 football games. So if you mean they're not going to be that bad, well, then yes, I would agree with you. If you say they're going to be a surprise team and win 10, 11 football games, then I think you do math. So it's got to be a combination here of both. There's got to be a middle ground here. They're probably going to be a 6-win team. That's the way I see them this year, a 6-win team. 6 wins, and you are set up for the following year to be building off of something. That's my number one goal with this Philadelphia Eagles season. Give me a season where I can look at everything afterwards and say, all right, I am intrigued to build off of this. I am intrigued to build off of Nick Sirianni and Jonathan Gannon. I don't know if Jalen Hurts is going to be the answer, but I do know that if he's not, you are set up with a lot of assets for the following season to then end up going after another quarterback. My biggest fear is if you are just, if Jalen Hurts, I should say, is just, what if he's okay? If he's okay, he's not good enough. That's what the organization needs to realize. If he's okay, draft a quarterback. If he's all right, draft a quarterback. If he's just average, let's go in another direction. you don't keep him. But I have a fear that they would still be okay with keeping Jalen Hurts if that's the case. You need to have a masterful performance out of Jalen Hurts for me to keep him. If he's okay and the team wins 5 football games, that's not enough for me to build off of Jalen Hurts. He needs to be more than just average for me to feel good about him. So that's where I'm at. Pecorine, retired. How old is he? I don't even know how old he is. I know he's getting up there, but Pecorine is. Yeah, I was going to say he's been in the league for a long ass time. Been in the league for 15 years. He's 38 years old. So, and he didn't have the best season with Nashville. It's not like he's the bread and butter anymore. So it kind of makes sense. Streams laggy? Yeah, of course. Of course it is. No, I did not see what Dan Orlovsky said about Jalen Hurts. What did he say about Jalen Hurts? Jacob says he thinks that Jalen Reagor will have a great year, at least 900 yards because no pressure is on him, and the number one corner will be on Devontae Smith. Well, I mean, there's still pressure on Jalen Reagor considering what happened last year, and he likes to go back and forth with a lot of media guys, not media people, but he likes to speak to the media about the fans, and you better watch what you say, and this and that, and I'm coming, blah, 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 blah. I think he does a little too much of it, in my opinion. With Jalen Reagor, there's still a lot of pressure on him. You showed us nothing last season. You were put in a lot of positions to fail, but considering you showed us nothing last season, there's a lot of pressure on him. You're right. Maybe it gets a little bit easier because of Devontae and because of the way other teams are going to then defend Devontae and how that opens up the ability to get him going. And maybe you can use some end arounds. You can use some unique plays to get the ball in his hands by the line of scrimmage that can utilize his legs more, and he would be in a different position to succeed. I'm with you there, but 900 yards is a lot too. I don't know if Jalen Reagor is going to be close to an 1,000-yard receiver. I'd think more of, I don't know, maybe like 750, maybe something like that. Oh, I saw that. That was a long time ago. Yeah, I saw that. I thought Dan Orlovsky said something even more recent. I'm going to look up. I want to look up futures for the NFL on my DraftKings Sportsbook app, which you can utilize and download, and you can use promo code Brodes for plenty of phenomenal odds and promotion boosts. Let's go to the NFL. Team futures, player totals, player futures. Most passing yards, most rushing yards. No. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it right now. Game parlays, 2022 draft, player totals. Baker Mayfield, receiving yards. Here we go. Jalen Reagor, receiving yards. Is okay. I was right on the money. So I said 700, right? I said 700, 750. All right, Jalen Reagor's over-under receiving yards this season is set at 675.5. So the way that they're looking at this is 675.5 is your over-under for Jalen Reagor in yards. That's probably around what you're going to be. It's going to be in that 600 to 750 range, somewhere in between that. So that's what they're looking at for him, and we'll see what that means. But that's where we're at. Yeah, our run game is going to be way better. There's no doubt about that. Oh, there's no doubt about that. Wade says, how good will the Raps be with Holmes, Suggs, and Graham? You don't have a superstar. So I don't know how good they're going to be. I don't think they're going to be very good. I think they're trending in the wrong direction now. I think it's all she wrote at this point. I think you guys are, you're going to be battling with just the pack more than anything else. Those championship aspirations are in another direction now. Thank you so much for the $3 donation, though. $2.79. I always feel I don't know how to respond to that. The $2.79. Do I say thank you for the $3? Thank you for the $2.79. So I say thank you for the donation. Yeah, probably just thank you for the donation. But going back to Keen, who says, I think our run game will be good. Yeah, I agree with that. I think your run game is going to open up so much more this season that it's going to be a whole different offense. The fact that you're just going to run the football, you're actually going to do it. It's actually going to be utilized. It will be something that occurs more times than not. It'll be used at a rate that makes sense at the NFL football level, where Doug Peterson was not willing to do that at all, which is just a disgrace. But yes, and then I listened to Greg Cosell, though, on the Inside the Birds podcast, and he did mention how Jalen Hurts, though, there's a fear that the second and third reads, while they're still kind of doing their thing, he's already taking off. So you're missing yards out there on the field because naturally his instincts are telling him to start running and to start using your legs. And I bring this up because I'm thinking of how much of a threat he'll be in the run game with Miles Sanders. But yeah, I mean, if you think about that alone, how much chunk yards you leave out there on the field because you're going to run for 10 yards instead of throwing it for 22, that's going to eventually come back to bite you. Come back to bite you. Yeah, Adrian, I'm with you. Miles Sanders better have his hands fixed. I'm with you. He missed a lot of easy passes. A lot of easy passes. Now, maybe they were a half a centimeter behind him, but in the NFL, a half a centimeter, not behind him, but not right perfectly in the breadbasket, a half a centimeter right off of the breadbasket. You're an NFL running back. Make the damn play. Make the damn play. Let's not blame everything on Carson Wentz as if a wide receiver or a running back can't catch a football that's not perfectly placed. This is what I hated about last season, right? Everything was Wentz. If you watch Russell Wilson's throw, not every fucking throw is just perfect. And DK Metcalf does nothing. DK Metcalf puts his hands to the left. DK Metcalf puts his hands to the right. DK Metcalf, I love how I went right and then left and then totally mess it up. He goes to the right. He goes to the left. He goes below him. He goes behind him a little bit towards the left side. He can catch the ball that's low underneath of his knees. He can jump up and grab it and high point the football if the throw's too high. This narrative that every throw in the NFL is so perfect and Carson Wentz was just so miserable. Like, that's how much people dissected his accuracy, where Russell Wilson will throw a little something over the middle, and maybe it's a half an inch behind the receiver, but the receiver just makes the play, and nobody thinks about where the throw was with Russell Wilson, where in the Eagles' standpoint, they would drop the football, and then instead of saying the receiver shouldn't have caught it because it was, instead of saying the receiver needs to make the play, it was, wow, what a poor throw by Carson Wentz. It got to an extreme level. Yes, Keenan, he does have a fumbling issue. Yes, he does. He needs to hold on to the football more. Yes, he does. Sport Reaction thinks that Australia is winning the gold. I don't know if they're winning the gold. USA doesn't want it as much as other countries. It means more. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely this idea, it seems, that we're just going to steamroll teams and whatnot. And I don't know. I mean, I don't have passion for USA basketball because of what it's always been. Other countries are definitely inching their way closer, and they're closing the gap on what was, what was once an extreme difference, and nobody could stand a chance. It seems like a lot of individuals out there just playing the sport of basketball and trying to win with just them being more talented. I guess for exhibition games, I don't have a lot of passion for them. I don't know how I'm going to feel once it does actually start, once it is legitimate. I'll probably get into it a little bit. But, I'm not sitting here whether, it's right or wrong. I mean, it doesn't really matter. No one's going to tell me if it's right or wrong. It's just my personal opinion. I don't sit here and just rally a USA towel just going nuts for USA team basketball. I don't. So you're right, though. There's definitely this feel that other teams want it more, and other teams are going to work harder, and other teams are more determined to win that championship or win the gold medal and bring it home than Team USA does. But it's also just exhibition games at the same time. But I also feel, it's being played out this way for a reason. It's not just, it's only exhibition, and that's why this is happening. They look at a touch. They look at a sink. They don't look like a team right now, and, it is what it is. Yes, I did see that the Stanley Cup got damaged. I did see that. A little too much partying. Well, yeah, I mean, you're probably not wrong. If LeBron's playing, they wouldn't have lost. LeBron is that special of a player. where you put him on a team and then you go from you're not making the playoffs to winning an NBA championship. So I'd imagine a player like LeBron James in the Olympics could go from not being as strong as you think they are to we're going to go win a medal. I mean, that definitely is a reality of the situation. We see it all the time. Jacob says, listening to Sirianni talking at practice makes me think maybe he does know what he's doing a little bit. I mean, talk is talk, right? I don't put too much stock into it because Doug Peterson sucked at talking and he wins a championship. And, Chip Kelly with the media was one way and he became a huge failure. So it's not really about what they're saying and it's not really about the talking side of things. It's more a delivery, tone. And in the beginning, specifically, it was just about the goofiness because I wanted someone with a bit of a sense of urgency and I wanted someone who could command and demand the room. And I don't know if Nick Sirianni gave off that vibe to me that he can demand a room no matter what Lane Johnson says. It's so easy in July before training camps really kick off to say the right things. That's basically what I'm saying. Nick Sirianni can say whatever he wants to the media, say whatever he wants after a practice, say whatever he wants before a training camp, win football games on Sunday, get criticized 3 weeks in a row for play calling decisions, and then come back in week 4 and still have the ability to get everybody playing hard, keep everybody on the same page, stay in your own head, don't lose yourself because it's going to be hectic. This is not Indianapolis anymore. And then put together another great game, or if at that point, if you're losing, you don't have great game plans, but put together a great game plan to stop the bleeding. That's when I'm going to judge him the most, when there's adversity being hit. And right now, there's anything but adversity being hit. You're just going ho-hum about your day. All right, if we're talking about switching hands, I'm out. If you're talking about age 25, switching your hands, I'm out. That's foolish. The thing is, what you're saying might be true, that he might have to switch his hands. The fact that that's what we're talking about, though, I'm fucking out. I'm out. I want nothing to do with the journey of Ben Simmons switching hands in the NBA 5 years in at the age of 25. Maybe there's something to it. Maybe there is. I don't give a fuck, though, and I don't want to deal with it. He's out of my life if I have to watch him. He's out of my life now, but if I have to watch him switch hands and go through that. Yeah, Matisse has been great. He's been making some really good plays, for sure. I'd rather watch USA hockey than USA basketball, and I like the NBA. Oh, no doubt. There's way more pride in the national game when it comes to hockey, right? I mean, you grow up, you play in the World Juniors. You grow up and play in all the tournaments that are similar to the World Juniors. There's the U.S. National Development Programs that great players play for. Team Canada, everybody dreams when they're a young kid to put on that Team Canada jersey at some point. It's crazy, the pride in your nationality in the sport of hockey. That's not to say people don't feel passionate about it in the NBA. Of course they do. Australians feel passionate about playing for Australia, especially these other countries other than the U.S. You feel definitely passionate towards that. But in hockey, it's just to a whole different level. How the hell did Thibault not get first team NBA? Probably because of the minutes. Played. Imagine not starting him on first team NBA for defense. Well, I mean, that's, let's see who made the list. I forget off the top of my head. First team all NBA defense. He barely played minutes wise compared to the other players. So, Giannis, Draymond, it was Drew Holiday and Ben Simmons for defense. And as much as I love Matisse Thybulle, Drew Holiday is a good defender, and he played significantly more minutes and provided way more for the Milwaukee Bucks team than Matisse Thybulle did because of those minutes. So you can't rule that out of the equation. He got 65. All right, so Matisse Thybulle got 3 first-team votes, 57 second-team votes. Yeah, minutes played. Yeah, see, this is why I think things are getting out of hand again. It's always something in the sports world. As an Australian, Finn says Tease is a national treasure. Really? A national treasure? See, with all due respect, we're doing the Mikal Bridges thing again. One game in the finals, 27 points. The Sixers passed up Kevin Durant. Matisse Thybulle is a nice player. Matisse Thybulle does some really exciting things defensively. Matisse Thybulle is doing some crazy things defensively. No doubt about it. A national treasure? You know, don't you think that that's maybe going overboard? That's maybe getting a little too excited for somebody. I like Matisse. See, when I say things like this, that doesn't mean that Mikal Bridges isn't great. Finn says, I'm playing with you, Brodes. All right. Okay. I'm just saying, but you're probably saying that as a joke, and there's a lot of Australians that do feel that way. There's a lot of Sixer fans that do feel that way. There's people who don't want to trade Tyrese Maxey for Damian Lillard because Tyrese Maxey can grow into something one day because they look at him as a treasure. Dario Saric at one point was untouchable. Robert Covington was one point untouchable. These pieces, these guys are pieces. Matisse Thybulle is a piece. Mikal Bridges is a piece. Maxey is a piece. Joel Embiid's a superstar. Damian Lillard's a superstar. Kevin Durant's a superstar. You give up pieces for superstars. So Sports Reaction says, I think Matisse is going to be an all-star. Well, one, he needs to pick up his offense significantly because you're not just making an all-star game as a defender and you do nothing else. Even Ben Simmons, I mean, he facilitated, he gave you 16 points per game and all when he was making all-star games, 15 points per game and whatnot. So there's an element of the facilitating that Matisse Thybulle doesn't bring to make an all-star game. I don't think he's ever going to be an all-star, but here's what I don't care about. The all-stars voting. Ben Simmons is an all-star, right? How many times? Guy stinks in the playoffs. I don't care if you're an all-star. There's plenty of all-stars at the bottom. There's bottom feeder all-stars, and they're kind of just guys, right? When Kemba Walker makes an all-star game, okay, that's great and dandy. I don't want Kemba Walker on my team. What's Kemba Walker? What's Kemba Walker? Now, what year was he? He was an all-star for 4 straight years. Whoop-de-damn-do. Whoop-de-damn-do. DeMar DeRozan, all-star. Whoop-de-damn-do. There's plenty of guys that are all-stars. That means nothing to me. If you're not a superstar, I don't care. You could be moved. You could be moved. I trade 5 Tyrese Maxeys, no doubt about it. As a Mets fan, I'm surprised that Nola tied Seaver's record, but I was still glad that the Mets beat the Phillies in walk-off. That was so long ago that I don't even, I remember that. It was ridiculous, and he punched out 10 straight dudes, and it was ridiculous. Or did it end up getting to 11? Aaron, or was it 12? What was the number? Okay, it was 10. I think he finished with 12 for the night. That's what it was. He finished with 12 that night, but he had 10 straight. Yeah, it was crazy for sure. Crazy for sure. The Bucks drafted Jabari Parker before Embiid. Can you imagine a front line with Giannis and Joel? Yeah, that would be absolutely insane. But you'd have a problem, though, with the paint, right? Because Brook Lopez spreads everything out. So the fact that you have Lopez out there that spreads the floor, it opens up the paint area. You'd have a similar situation. I'm not saying the same. You'd have a similar situation with a player who can't shoot a basketball, more willing to shoot, but you wouldn't have the ability to back off the way that you do and then just dribble and spin-a-rama and go to the rack every single damn time because Joel Embiid would be in the paint. So you'd have to, it would be interesting. Joel Embiid would probably be camping out more, and then you'd have people bitch and complain that he's 7'2" and he's hanging around the perimeter too much. So there's an element to that as well. There's an element of that as well. How would that work out strategically, X and O wise? Because it would be a bit of a tough spot. Whoop-de-damn-do. I'm going to have that quote stuck in my head all day. It's not a bad one. You never heard of whoop-de-damn-do? Am I the first one to throw whoop-de-damn-do at you? Would the NBA be better without the three-point line? Nope. Do you think it would be better without the three-point line? I don't at all. Imagine a big three of Giannis, Embiid, and Middleton. I don't know. I told you, you'd have to change a lot strategically. I don't think it would be as perfect as you think because Giannis, all he does is drive, 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 and then you have a big man who works down low. So I'm not saying it wouldn't work. I'm saying right now, though, you have Ben Simmons who isn't a shooter with the ball in his hands, and Embiid who wants to operate from the block out, and then he can go in and he can play a little bit of both, right? He can play in the paint, he can play outside the perimeter. It'll just be interesting. That's all. What's up, Rip? I'm doing well, man. How are you doing? I'm having a fantastic morning. I got my iced coffee going, my little Starbucks iced coffee with some almond milk, and I believe it's just your standard. It's subtle sweet Starbucks. And yeah, just go. I'm on a Starbucks kick. I'm on a Starbucks kick. I can't stop. It's nonstop. Starbucks iced coffee kick. I go through my modes. I go through black Wawa coffee kicks. I go through hazelnut Wawa coffee kicks. I go through just black coffee in general um uh clips. Was that the word I was using? I don't even know what word I was using before. And yeah, now I'm going through this. Just it is what it is. TK, Brodes, Phillies will make a second half push to win the NL East. I'm not that optimistic. I need to see way more from this baseball team. They put themselves in a position, though, to get us engaged. And I guess that's all I can ask for. Maybe I've been a little harsh on them. I don't think I have been. I've been basing it off of the product I've seen on the field majority of the time this season. So I'm only, just like with Danny Green, I'm reacting to what I saw. You control how we feel. Lately, it's been great. But for me to feel this way after 88 games, I think it's justifiable based off of the product we've seen more times than not, which is absolutely a horrific version of baseball. They did, though. They did make it tough for Dave Dombrowski. That was their job. Make it tough for the president of baseball operations to make a decision about buying or selling. And when you look at it, they put Dave Dombrowski in a tough spot, and it seems he's going to buy. I mean, at this point, it's pretty damn obvious. He's going to buy, and we'll see what this means. Yeah, I had a lot of fun watching Pete Alonso last night. I really did. I'm not going to say I'm glad that he won. Trey Mancini's story was pretty damn awesome with the whole colon cancer thing. And for him to win it after going through that type of experience and journey, I mean, it would have been incredible. But look, he was dialed in. He was ridiculous. It was smooth, nonstop, dinger, 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 6 straight dingers with the bonus time to seal the deal. He looked possessed last night for sure. How many creamers? I don't go with a specific amount of creamers, like, because I have like the big creamer thing, so I just go for a little splash. It depends. I like black coffee though, so sometimes I just drink a black. I'll even drink black iced coffee, but I don't know. I just go for just a little splash for whatever that is, for a little splash. Nah, Dunkin' Donuts coffee's ass in general. Coffee from Dunkin' Donuts is just it's my least favorite. It's my least favorite. I never feel good when I go to Dunkin' Donuts. Nah, I never feel accomplished. I never feel I got what I wanted to. Now they have that French vanilla swirl, which they're ice coffee, but nah, I'm not big on it. I think what you're doing is because there is an element to Starbucks where you got to know what you're getting. You got to know what you're doing there. If you just go there and pick something random and then your opinion on it afterwards is, I don't really like this. You got to know there's multiple different options there that is fantastic. For me personally, everyone has their own opinion, obviously, on what they love. But if you don't know what you're getting from Starbucks, I think that's a big thing. Like the other day I was there, right? And I heard someone say, yeah, I'll just have a plain black large coffee, hot. And I'm like, okay, you don't go to Starbucks. You don't know what you're doing. You're just grabbing a coffee. And I heard him talking to his girlfriend at the time in line. And she got her drink, like, I have the caramel macchiato, blah, 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 frappuccino, 6 things of sugar, blah, 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 blah. Like she had her order, bang, 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 bang. 7 things of creamer, bang, bang, bang. Just like an obnoxious order of a typical, when you make the joke of like a white, the white girl Starbucks run. That's basically what it was. A teenager going for the white girl Starbucks coffee run. That's what we witnessed in that scenario. And then the boyfriend was like, I don't know what to get. And he was like, I have a hot black coffee. And I'm like, okay, your experience is going to be horrendous. Yeah, I do. I do go to local coffee shops. There's a few that there's none that are like within 5 minutes from me or whatever. But what I like to do, because this is a perfect plug, is I like to go to these coffee shops and Right. So, if you did not know, I've been writing more on the Brodes Media website. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the link to my blog in the chat right now. And what I like to do is go to a local spot and just kind of kick it. And um, yeah, I like to write the blog and just kind of get a coffee, put my AirPods in, maybe listen to some music or listen to 97.5 The Fanatic, listen to some sports radio and just kick it and write. And even if it's not a local coffee shop, even if it's something like a Starbucks or a Panera Bread or, something like that where I'll just kick it's either or. I'll do both. But I'll drive 20 minutes to do it. That's like my new thing. I've only done it maybe 2 times so far, but it is in my brain of like, this is what I enjoy doing because I sit here in my office all day. I come downstairs in my basement. I sit in my studio all day. I sit in my kitchen, and I do things in my living room and all. But I wanna get out. I wanna go somewhere. I wanna drive. I wanna be in a new environment. So yeah, I do like to do that as well. Oh, yeah, their white chocolate mocha slaps for sure. It's just horrendous for you. Now that I'm getting back in the gym, when I see 490 calories or something for that bad boy, it's like, whew, you gotta, ooh, hoo, 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 hoo. I have like a point system on what I'm eating because I'm trying to, tone back a little bit. And that's basically my points for the whole day. Can't be doing that. Can't be doing that. Yeah, I like local coffee shops, no doubt. No doubt about it. By the way, so speaking of my blog, I put up a blog of the Conor McGregor Dustin Poirier fight 2 days ago, or maybe I dropped it yesterday morning actually, and then last night I wrote a bit on Pete Alonso and how much I enjoyed the home run derby. So if you're interested in some of these blogs that I'm writing, yeah, just check it out at brodesmedia.com/blog. Sorry, no S. brodesmedia.com/blog. And it'll bring you right there. Pete Alonso put on a home run derby show is the latest piece. Dustin Poirier earned his victory versus Conor McGregor is the following piece. Flyers missed out on Cole Caulfield. Tyler Glass now and some sticky stuff because that was during that time. Come on, Doc. I wrote that June 1st. Just some fun things. I'm going to start blogging more for sure. Well, it's all situational, Ashley. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you're only allowed to, eat this amount of calories and this and that. I'm no nutritionist by any means, so I don't have the knowledge, the full breakdown of being able to give other people pointers. And it all depends, right? I'm 6 foot, 188 pounds, so me would not be the same as somebody who's doing it who's 6'3", 215 pounds or something of that nature. So it just depends. Brodes, are you on 97.5 only on the weekend? Yes. So I'm a weekend host. So yes, I'm on the weekends. Um, yeah, I'm on the weekends. I have a wedding this Saturday that I'm in. So I'm only on Sunday this weekend. Let me look at my schedule for where we're at here. I'm only on Sunday because Saturday I'm at my first wedding I've ever been in, so I'm excited for it. In the wedding, a little different than just attending the wedding. Hold on, let me cross out my days. I feel like I got a little bit distracted here. So is it Tuesday? It's Tuesday, right? All-Star games at 7:30. Let me write a couple of things I got to do. Yeah, so I'm off on Saturday, and then Sunday I'm on 4 to 8 p.m. And then that's that. So yeah, I've been having a blast, though. It's been a lot of fun on The Fanatic. It's a great time. I appreciate everyone. The amount of people that call in and be like, Brodes, I watch you on YouTube. I listen to Coffee with Brodes. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's a really fun experience. And it's awesome. It's awesome. Best place in Philly to get a cheesesteak. I like Jim's. I'm a Jim's guy, but I'm not anti anything else. When people start freaking out, this place is better than that place. They're all fucking great. All right, they're all great. Of course, you get the classic tourist ones that I'm not talking about. I'm talking about, your deeper, your actually Philadelphia type of cheesesteak. And to me, it's Jim's. I enjoy Jim's the most, but I'm not ruling anything off the table. They're all fucking fantastic. They're all very good. Yeah, Jim's. I'm telling you, Jim's. Oh, it's on your bucket list. Okay, I thought you were maybe making that happen like sooner rather than later, unless you are, and that would be incredible, Mike. but go to Philly and have a cheesesteak. How about that? How about that? All right. When I was growing up as a Mets fan, I was always scared of Jimmy Rollins and Ryan Howard, as you should have been. I love if I didn't throw Chase Utley in there, as if Chase Utley's not the biggest hated Mets. As a Mets fan, he's like the most hated individual. Chase Utley is despised. Chase Utley is literally one of the worst names that you could bring up to a Mets fan. And you said when I was growing up, I was more scared of Jimmy Rollins, Ryan Howard. Although, I mean, I guess if you're looking at the timeline of what you're talking about, Chase Utley and that debacle definitely happened later on. So, that probably impacts the way of you thinking about it and impacts at that era of time of winning baseball for the Phillies. That situation did not happen yet. Pat Burrell? What about Pat Burrell? It's a name I feel like I wasn't going to talk about today. Pat Burrell. But anyway, with that being said, I guess we'll end it with Pat Burrell. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us today. I really do appreciate that. One of my favorite times of the day is hanging out with you all here on Coffee with Brodes, kicking it, just shooting the shit, hanging out. Thank you all so much for listening. I'll catch you guys.